Hey everybody, we're here at the Chicago Auto Show. We're here a day early for their social media day, and we're gonna go in and check out what they have for us. So it's nice to be here without a crowd of 10,000 people. It was really easy to get here. We drove our F-150 Lightning, only charged twice. The second time was really to top up so that when we leave today, we already have almost a full charge. So a lot more coming to you here at the Chicago Auto Show. All right, I'm here in the Toyota booth at the Chicago Auto Show. I'm looking for the Toyota BZ4X, and all I see is all their internal combustion engine vehicles. They're also very proud of the fact that the Camry is the best-selling car in America, soon to most likely be eclipsed by the Model Y, unless you consider that an SUV. But I don't see it. We walked the whole booth, and all I see is their internal combustion engine vehicles, or maybe even their hybrids. So I know they have the all-new Prius right here. Where is it?
One eternity later.
All right, so we searched the entire Toyota booth, and I talked with one of the representatives, and they said, nope, no BZ4X here. So we're at the largest auto show in the world, probably by size of the venue, and there's no fully electric vehicles here, except for this display, which shows some concepts of electrified scooters, wheelchairs, this concept LQ car, and then a little three-wheeled single passenger thing. But these are concepts. So the entire Chicago Auto Show does not have a battery electric vehicle from Toyota. We came here specifically to film a segment on it, hoping that I could walk around it and give viewers something to see, but not here. So unlike the Toyota booth, the Ford booth has their electric vehicles front and center. Two Mach-E's, F-150 Lightning, and then you have the Maverick hybrid right next to it. So the shift to electrification is not being hidden by Ford Motor Company. And this is a beautiful F-150 Lightning. I like the all black. Ours is white. Sandy picks white because all of our corporate trucks are white. But really amazing to see the shift to electrification is lagging behind when it comes to these auto shows. They're attended by tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, and the OEMs are trying to get people to, buy their vehicles. And right now, I'm not seeing this as an EV auto show. It still kind of reminds me of the LA Auto Show that Sandy and I went to 2 years ago. So this just shows you the level of knowledge of the staff working these booths. I walked up to someone working here, a nice guy, and I said, hey, do you have an E-Transit? Nope, no E-Transits, just regular Transits. A little disappointed, we walked back, and what do you know? E-Transit, right here. And I'm gonna see if I can climb underneath of this thing to get some images. I know they're for sale on the market, but let's see what we got. Look at this. Yeah, Sandy was looking to get one of these to replace our minivan, but I don't think this is going to work for our minivan. This load floor is really high, and this is really made for being a work truck. Let's see what I can see underneath. Ooh, nice. It's like Wizard of Oz. So what I see under here is a huge battery, big stamping. Look at the drive unit. It looks just like the drive unit from the F-150. Nice aluminum cradle, solid mounted, two big springs. Really a simple architecture. The Ford has their E-Transit. It's a really nice vehicle, but it starts at $58,000. Really interested in seeing the prevalence of this vehicle, but I think there's a lot of cost improvements that could be made here. We'll take a look at this thing. So here we are at the Chicago Auto Show. We made it to the Nissan booth, and they have an Aria here. So when Sandy and I went to Japan in the fall of 2022, we saw one of these at their headquarters. They had a large lobby. We did a little bit of a quick look at this, and it's a nice looking vehicle. But me being a Nissan guy, my entire young adult life, I drove a Nissan Maxima. I wish they could just have an electric version of that. Look at that blue Nissan Z over there. Come on, Grace, can you get that? An absolutely stunning vehicle, yet they end up making not their first electric car, but I guess their second electric car, in this gold color. And the styling with the roof that's missing, it's a styling cue that they use on a lot of their large SUVs, large cars and mid-sized cars, with the black roof that disappears. But to me, it reminds me more of a VW ID4. They're just trying to please everybody. It's like in the middle with the size. It's not a sedan, it's not an SUV, it doesn't have a full hatch. And I don't know, I'm just a little disappointed. Once we get one to tear down, that's where Munro and Associates really shines, because comparing and contrasting the actual EV architecture is really what we make our money at. And when it comes to the exterior design and interior design, I lean on Carl for that. And unfortunately, Carl's not here.
This video is sponsored by T-Wraps and their MagSafe charger for the Rivian R1T and R1S. Now you can charge your MagSafe compatible iPhone easily and securely. Its strong magnets secure your phone in position while driving, and the charger syncs up immediately with your iPhone. The custom designed 2 pucks provide 7.5 watts charge per phone while utilizing just one USB-C port. It features a premium OEM look and feel and is customizable with vinyl and leather skins. Visit twraps.com to order yours today.
You know, without the transmission tunnel, interiors of vehicles are essentially wide open. And most likely what they're doing to get even more room for your footwell is they're putting the HVAC unit further forward into where the engine bay is. We see VW do that as well with the ID4 and the Audi Q4, but a ton of room. The only thing I don't like is if you're sitting here and you have your passenger with something that might roll, a water bottle or whatnot, it could roll over into where your pedals are. Yeah, it's a nice spacious interior. Kind of reminds me of the Hyundai and Kia screens, the ones that blend together. BMW also does this. You also have this wood grain here, soft touch IP, hard touch up there. I like this from a cost savings perspective. Most of your passengers are going to reach and touch here, but right there, you still have the graining. This would probably drive Carl crazy because I can see different graining on this actual, vinyl or leather than this piece here and that piece. So you have 3 different grainings on there, as well as a different smooth leather on the steering wheel, perforated leather right here, and then kind of a suede Alcantara look here. Here we are in the Stellantis booth next to the Dodge Charger concept car. When this thing was revealed, a lot of fanfare was put behind the noise that it makes. And unfortunately, we can't hear that right now. It's the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept with an 800-volt system. what I really like is the airflow through this front section right here. But what's amazing about auto show cars is the paint is pristine and the lighting is incredible. So, I mean, I wish my vehicle looked like this on any given day. All these cars look like candy. It's incredible. I do like these huge wheels with the single lug. You have some nice performance brakes, but this is something I might drive if I was single and didn't have 3 kids and a dog. But unfortunately, not much to see here until we tear one of these down. So
So when it first turns on here, it'll show you the amount of charge that we have on there, as well as, let me see if it's going to do it. Nope, I didn't walk away far enough.
oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but when you first jump in, you'll see multiple lines on the screen there, and then that's our charging level. So it'll show you if we're at a full battery, half battery, things of that nature. We change our gauges over here on how this screen would look for us. So this will be our gauge. So you'll see your tire pressure here, your speed, miles that you have left. We can change it so we see more energy. So with that being said, it'll show you how many miles we have at the top, the amount of kilowatts we're using while we're driving, and then your miles per hour, things of that nature. On this side, I can also make this my GPS there. So it'll show me the Google Maps and where I'm going, what's ahead of me. Of course, I don't have any point of interest in there at the moment, so it's not showing me anything. And then clean would just be one screen with our miles per hour right there. Looks a little bit more simpler, right?
Yeah, nice.
Everything else is done with this screen here. So we got our maps there, audio of course, hook it up to our phone. Apple Play is also in there, Android Audio. The Play Store, Park Assist is right there as well. Get Wi-Fi. We can also change the light in the car. So if you look on your doors there, we can customize that and make them different colors. Mine is, my favorite color is green, so I always like to go to green. So super nice about that.
Oh, nice, yeah.
With that being said, radio and everything can be controlled from down here as well. Heating steering wheel, of course.
And this has Super Cruise as well.
Oh yeah, so it definitely has the Super Cruise on there. Not necessarily a full autonomous cruise control, but it does change lanes for you, things of that nature. It'll brake and accelerate as cars, either come close to us from the back and in front. Automatic braking in the back and in front as well. So of course you got that backup camera. It'll start vibrating once there's something behind us there. We also got the front-facing camera on there as well, so that helps out getting out of those tight parallel parking situations. And we got our side cameras on there as well. Ready to go?
Yeah.
So that sound that you hear is supposed to replicate the sound of the sun, but of course also lets people like her know that the car is in drive or reverse, and that they should probably move out the way at some point.
So this has a 100 kilowatt hour battery?
Yes, sir. So you'll get about 52 miles per hour as far as charging rate goes. So in most cases, you can get about a 76 mile range in about 15 minutes or so.
Okay, nice.
You definitely get all the room that you would want in an SUV, but it handles more so like a sedan. I'll show you. I'll let them clear a little bit. Like I said, I've driven this from Chicago to Michigan and back and forth, so I have no issues getting around people that I need to get around.
Yeah. And you work for GM, or are you part of a crew that just represents
Yeah, so I'm with the marketing team here that works for GM.
Okay.
And we hang out with the auto show, travel around with them, and tell you guys about the cars. And then from there, you would go to a dealership or something similar if you're interested in purchasing.
Yeah, the car in front of us is going real slow.
A little slow.
Little Chevy Bolt. Yeah, I really like the interior. Cadillac and also the GMC products are really nice. I drive a GMC Yukon Denali.
Oh, nice.
So I see a lot of similar user interface, particularly with the screen icons are actually similar on my screen. I think this is a curved OLED screen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones, if not the biggest in the industry as well.
So this is 0 to 60 in what, about 4 seconds?
So
4.5?
almost about 6.
6, okay.
Yeah.
Which
got
is
up to about 33 right now.
Yeah.
It's 32.
Well, thanks for showing me the car. It's the first time I've been able to ride one of these. Not very many have
be
been.
the one to show it to you.
Yeah, not very many have been delivered to customers yet. So the big thing will be this year, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, up to 2023s are pretty much all spoken for there, but of course you can still place an order as of yesterday for the 2024s.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, thank you.
I appreciate you guys hanging out. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we just got a ride with Dominic in a Cadillac Lyriq. It was pretty nice, I gotta say. So the interior, phenomenal quality, materials. The user interface is great. It had that curved OLED screen. It had 312 miles of range showing on the screen right there. We just drove from Detroit to Chicago in our Lightning, which has 220 miles, 230 miles of range. So now I realize 300 would be plenty. 400 would be really, really nice. So with 100 kilowatt hours, that thing looks pretty nice. The problem is they're just not making a lot of them. They only delivered less than 200 last year. All of 2023, they told me, is sold out. They're probably ramping up really slow. Mary Barra said they're not going to compete with all the price cuts, so they'll still be pretty expensive, $65,000 to $80,000. But if I had less family members and no dog, this would be a great car to drive to and from work. So, yeah, a nice first experience riding in a Lyriq. More to come from the Chicago Auto Show. Here we are at the Lexus booth at the Chicago Auto Show with the Lexus RZ 450e. So I was really interested to see the range of this. And right here it says 220 to 196 miles of range. That's not very good considering this has a 71.4 kilowatt hour battery. So to put that in perspective, an all-wheel drive Model Y with about a 75 to 78 kilowatt hour battery can get over 300 miles of range. And this thing's getting 220 to 196, depending on whether you have 18 or 20-inch wheels. That's incredibly inefficient because this thing only has the 313 horsepower. I think it has an all-wheel drive option, but it's not very fast. It's not very powerful. The battery's decently sized and the range isn't very good. What that means is their execution is poor when it comes to total vehicle efficiency, which I expect a lot better out of Toyota/Lexus because they have such a long heritage and experience with the Prius. So now let's take a look at the exterior of the car. This is the first time seeing it in person. And all these EVs are kind of blending together with a high belt line, most likely because the battery takes up so much room under the vehicle that the floor of the vehicle raises, which means the belt line raises. So you get that ID4 look, you get the Audi Q4 look, even the Mach-E has kind of that tall door. And let's see what the inside looks like. Yep, right here you can see the height of the floor to accommodate the battery pack. Now, this has a yoke-style steering, which Tesla's actually moving away. They're giving you an option for a regular round steering wheel. A big screen, a basic Lexus Toyota interior, very nice. But I just want to look at the overall size and shape of the car. This has the 20-inch wheels. So with this version, you're looking at 196 miles of range. This kind of reminds me of some of the early BMWs we got that truly weren't their EV platform. I think we had that M50E. It only had 180 or 200 miles of range, and it just wasn't enough for me to even leave Munro on a Friday and get back on a Monday if I wanted to drive around and do some commuting back and forth to different places. So anyways, here we are at the Chicago Auto Show, and not that impressed with this RZ 450e. everybody, so last year I decided to get my wife a vehicle, and this is what I bought her. I bought her a Kia Carnival. I absolutely love it. I just wish it was electric. Look how big this thing is inside. It's absolutely massive. Screens, the seats slide forward and back. You can actually take out the center, take out any of the sides. They flip forward. I don't even use the rear seats. But for a minivan, this thing doesn't even look like a minivan. It has a nice stance that looks more kind of like a Ford Explorer, an SUV. But this is the trim level I bought my wife, and I know she doesn't drive an electric vehicle, but got a lot of kids and a big dog. Here we are at the Chicago Auto Show. We're at the Chevy display, and behind me is the EV Silverado. Now, to me, it looks just like an Avalanche with the whole body as one and a nice little rake back into there. But here's something I didn't notice. The dang thing has 24-inch wheels. 24. Come on, that's not good for your EV efficiency. Just give the people some 20s or some 22s. I know it's a press vehicle here, but right now something that's really odd is they must have some sort of odd routine going in there, because I see it going from 57, 70 miles an hour right now. So it must have a routine running through how the display works. I noticed the floor is really high up because they have that huge battery pack in there. So when I climb into my Yukon, the floor isn't that high off the ground. So I wonder if that's a compromise that they made in this thing, because it probably has a huge 200 kilowatt hour battery. I do like the way this thing looks, but still it's, give me the SUV first. I want an EV Suburban, please. Blue is my favorite color though. All right, let's go look at the EV Blazer. All right, here's the EV Blazer. Relatively small, much smaller than the normal Blazer. So also doesn't look like it's on the same platform, but look at the height of the floor. Very low. When you actually step in, the sill goes down. This is different than what we saw on that EV Silverado. But the construction of the body, the doors, the seats, the interior, the wheels, everything looks basic and normal to me. The screens on this and the EV Silverado look almost identical. That's pretty common. A lot of OEMs will carry over their infotainment system from car to car because you don't want to have to redevelop that software or that hardware on each individual vehicle. So I think it looks okay, but the charge port door is unnecessarily complicated. Look how big this thing is, and you have your CCS charge port right there with a cover for your DC charging port. Blows me away with how much complexity a lot of these OEMs have for their charging port. Well, a little bit more to come from the Chicago Auto Show. We've tried to get to every single EV here, even some of the concept ones. I think we just have one more to go. We have the Ioniq 6 behind me. Really good looking car, but a lot of people don't like how the rear end of it looks. So come around this way, Grace. Kind of reminds me of a late 80s, early 90s Porsche. You have this really slooped back, and then there's also this two-tone on the bottom. Much better than that one Kia that we got the other day. But the infotainment in the interior, very, very similar to what we see in a lot of the other Hyundai and Kia products. So very good MPGE. I think it's almost as good as a Lucid. I don't remember what it said. almost class leading. But I like how this thing looks, but we're going to get to a point where everybody has electric vehicles. They're trying to make this step change in what they look like and how to attract buyers. But frankly, can't they just make a normal car that's electrified? It'll sell just fine. Ford did that with the F-150 Lightning and the Mach-E. I think they look like normal vehicles. But Chevy over there has the Blazer and the EV Silverado with 24-inch wheels. And I didn't realize the EV Blazer was going to be so dang small. Why couldn't they just electrify the same Blazer? That Blazer does pretty well. It looks good. It's also large. Now they have this tiny Blazer, which essentially looks like it's built off the Lyriq platform. So I think we're going to wrap it up here at the Chicago Auto Show. We didn't see as much as we wanted to, but still always nice to get our eyes and hands on the cars right here in front of us. A lot more to come from Munro Live, so stay tuned and thank you for subscribing.